Martial law doesn't announce itself, it creeps. First, there are restrictions, then there are curfews, then there are checkpoints, then there are patrols, and then you're living under military control and you're wondering when normal stopped and this started. But here's the truth most people don't understand. Martial law doesn't happen overnight. It happens in waves. And you have a window, a small window, maybe days, maybe a few weeks to prepare, not to fight, to disappear. Because once martial law is declared, the system becomes a net, and nets are designed to catch things that are visible. So the moment you know it's coming, you stop being visible. Here's what you need to prepare right now, before the orders come down, before the roads close, before the patrols start, before you're trapped in a digital system designed to control you. The single most important thing you prepare is not a weapon, not a bunker, not a stockpile. It's a life that doesn't depend on the system, a life that exists off the grid, invisible. And here's how you build it. First, cash. Not savings, not credit cards, cash. Physical money that has no digital footprint, no bank record, no transaction history, no trail. Right now, while the system is still normal, you extract cash from the system. How much? Enough to disappear for 3 months. Rent, food, fuel, medicine. Calculate it. Get it. Keep it somewhere safe that's not a bank, not a home safe that's obvious. Somewhere. Because when martial law hits, banks close, card readers stop working, ATMs go offline, and the only money that matters is the money you're holding, the money that can't be frozen, the money that can't be tracked. Second, documentation. Not digital copies, physical copies. Your birth certificate, your passport, your vehicle title, property deeds, insurance documents, medical records, everything that proves you exist and own things. Print them, laminate them, keep them in a waterproof container. Because when the power goes down and the servers go offline, digital records don't exist, and the only proof of your identity is the paper you're holding. The government might freeze all your digital records, but they can't freeze what's in your hands.
Third, alternate address. You have a home address on file. Government knows it. Military knows it. Checkpoints will be looking for you there. So you need an alternate address, not a fake one, a real one. A friend's address, a relative in another city, a safe house in a different county, something that's not your home, something where you could plausibly be. Because if a checkpoint asks where you live and you can give a different address, suddenly you're not at your actual home. Suddenly you're invisible. Fourth, off-grid communication. Your phone, email, and social media are surveillance tools. Right now, while things are normal, you establish communication that doesn't depend on them. A code word with someone you trust. My cousin is visiting means I'm safe at the alternate address. The car needs repairs means I'm heading north. Grandma's sick means I need help. You test this, you practice, you make sure your inner circle knows the system. Because when martial law hits, the government monitors digital communication, and the people who survive are the ones using analog methods. Fifth, medical independence. Whatever medications you take, you need a supply that's not prescription dependent. Not because you'll hide forever, but because pharmacies might close, hospitals might be commandeered, and you need to be able to survive 90 days without the system. Work with your doctor now, get extra supplies, stockpile what you can, store it safely. Because a diabetic without insulin dies, an asthmatic without inhalers dies, someone with heart disease without their medication dies. Medical independence is survival. Sixth, secondary identity. This is the hard part, the part that feels illegal, but it's not. It's preparation. You don't get a fake ID. You get the components that could build a secondary identity if you needed it. Not to commit fraud, to disappear. A used car registered to a different address, a prepaid phone with a different number, a mail drop in a different city, a bank account with money that looks dormant. Separately, these are normal. Together, they're an escape route. Because if the government is looking for you at your primary identity, they're not looking for your secondary one. Seventh, community network. You think you'll survive alone. You won't. You need people, but you need them quietly. Right now, you identify who in your community you can trust, not your whole social media following. 3 people, maybe 4. People who understand that sometimes survival means helping each other disappear. You don't form a militia, you form a network, a mutual aid system, because when martial law hits and the system breaks, the people who survive are the ones with allies. Eighth, deniable supplies. If the government searches your home, they're looking for proof that you're preparing to resist weapons, explosives, militia literature, encrypted communications, but you're not resisting, you're just prepared. So your supplies are deniable. Water is for emergencies, food is for power outages, medicine is for family, cash is for whatever. None of it is illegal, none of it is suspicious, but all of it keeps you alive during martial law. This is the psychology of invisibility. You're not breaking laws, you're just being prudent. Ninth, route knowledge. You know how to get to your alternate address, but you also know how to get there without main roads, without checkpoints, without being seen. You drive the route, you walk it, you know it at night, you know it in bad weather, you know where to stop if you need to hide. Because when martial law hits, checkpoints go up, and the people who survive are the ones who know the back roads. 10th, mental preparation. This is the most important. You need to accept that everything you knew might change, that your normal life might become a target, that you might need to disappear, that staying might be more dangerous than leaving. You prepare mentally for this, not by panicking, by accepting, by understanding that if it comes to it, you can survive, you can adapt, you can disappear, and you can rebuild.
Now let's talk about what martial law actually looks like. It's not Hollywood. There are no tanks rolling down your street. There's just control. Movement restrictions, curfews, checkpoints asking for papers, houses being searched, people being registered, people being relocated to processing centers. The mechanism of control is usually quiet and administrative, not violent and obvious, which is why preparation is so important. Because the people who get caught up in the system are the ones who didn't see it coming. They're at the checkpoint without alternate documentation. They're at their registered address when the patrols come. They're trying to survive on a frozen bank account. They're visible, and visibility is death in martial law. You're different because you prepared. So here's what happens when martial law is declared. You don't panic. You activate. Your cash comes out. Your physical documents are gathered. Your alternate address becomes your destination. Your off-grid communication activates. Your medications are organized. Your secondary identity sits ready. Your community network links up. Your deniable supplies become your reality. Your route knowledge guides you. Your mental preparation keeps you calm. And you disappear. Not from the map, from the system. You become someone the government can't find, someone they can't control, someone they can't process. And that's the point. Martial law is designed to control visible people, to process them, to regulate them, to know where they are and what they're doing. But if you're invisible, you can't be controlled. You can survive, you can wait, you can rebuild. Here's the brutal truth about martial law preparation. Most people won't prepare. Most people will think it won't happen to them. Most people will stay visible. And when the net comes down, they'll be caught. You won't, because you prepared. Not for violence, for invisibility. Because the goal isn't to fight the system. The goal is to survive it. And the way you survive it is by disappearing before it arrives. Now let's talk about what this actually means for your life right now. You need to start extracting yourself from systems today, not to commit fraud, to prepare. Cash accumulation, document organization, address diversification, communication setup, medical stockpiling, secondary identity assembly, community identification, supply gathering, route knowledge, mental acceptance. These are the 10 things, and you start them now, not next month, not when you think things are getting bad. Now, while things are normal, while you can move money without suspicion, while you can drive routes without standing out, while you can talk to people about alternate addresses without raising alarms. The preparation window is open now. It won't stay open forever. At some point, the system tightens. At some point, the monitoring increases. At some point, the government becomes aware that people are preparing to disappear. And at that point, the window closes.
So you prepare now, while you can, while it's legal, while it's invisible. Because preparation is not rebellion, preparation is survival. And when martial law comes, the people who survive are the ones who prepared while there was still time, the ones who understood that visibility kills, invisibility saves. So if martial law is coming, here's what you prepare. A life that doesn't depend on the system, a life that can disappear, a life that can survive outside the net. And when the moment comes, you step into that life, not because you're running, but because you're surviving, because you prepared, and now you know how.